Socrates was a dude that was born back in the day in Athens, and he basically went around doing philosophy for free, and he had these like beliefs and started to interest in like actual stuff. A really random and interesting fact about Socrates was that he married this really hot-tempered, annoying, little bit mental bit of a wife, right? And people used to always be all like, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong, he was short and fat and stuff, but he was like smart and stuff, and he was always like, people are like, why do you marry this like annoying wife if you've got such like, intelligence and stuff? And he basically gave the same, I don't know the exact words, but he basically gave the same argument of the whole, a captain on rough seas learns more than a captain on plain waters. So I thought he was a bit of a lad for that. Like I said, he was a super smarty pants, and everyone bangs on about him being like the father of Western philosophy and stuff. And it all started when there was this Oracle of Delphi, and I think that just means basically like a witch doctor or whatever, who said he was the wisest man in the end. And Socrates, being Socrates, was like, nah, I'm gonna prove her wrong. And he was like, no, no, I'm not the smartest person around. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna prove that I'm not the smartest person around. So what he did was he started going and chatting to people to find out who was smarter than him. And so you can be like, no, 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 this other person's smarter than me. So he started like proper bluntly asking people what they believed, why they believed it, and he soon realized that everyone was an idiot. Like, he was chatting to people and he was like, look, these people are proper ignorant. He goes, I know that I don't have the answers, but I know that these people definitely don't have the answers. And so the question is, how did he get to that? So it's called the Socratic method. And he works like this. He goes, you take a belief. He did this through chatting to people. I'll give you some example here. But he takes a belief and then he goes, all right, well, let me look at the assumptions behind this belief and see if at any point these assumptions were either not true or incorrect. And if they were, then what the kind of conclusion or the belief that people have is also not 100% true or incorrect and needs editing. And then what you do, you keep editing and you keep finding holes in the gaps of arguments. And he goes, all you can do though is by finding what isn't true, you get closer to what is true. You never get to what is true, you just get closer to what is true by removing what isn't true. So a good example of this was there's a dude called Menno, right? And he was an aristocrat from another like village or area or whatever. And he came around, he started chatting to Socrates. And so there was a commonly held belief back in the day that to be virtuous, i.e., like a good person and stuff, you had to be rich. So this was a conversation. Menno, rich men who can afford good things is a sign of a virtuous man. Socrates, by good, do you mean things like health and wealth? Menno, I include the acquisition of both gold and silver and of high and honorable position in the state. So basically, what Menno is basically saying to him is, look, the guy who's got loads of money, gold and silver, and is got influence and power, i.e., high position in the state, that is what I mean by virtuous. So Socrates, are these the only good things? Menno, yes, everything of that sort. Socrates, do you include the word just in your acquisition, or can you basically get, the dollar, however you like, steal, you know, pimp, whatever? Menno, certainly not. Socrates, so justice, piety, like all that good stuff is actually important to virtue. So what he said then was, look, if you can't get the dollar because you are just and honorable, and you'd have to do something unjust and something that wasn't honorable. So if you had to steal money off someone to get rich, will you then also not be virtuous because you did what was right? And Menno goes, yeah, I guess so. So Socrates goes, so having money or not isn't what actually defines virtue. Menno goes, yeah, I guess you're right. So this is an example of how he's used the Socratic method, and he's found actually having money or having positions of power doesn't actually create virtue, because actually virtue is based on like what you do in certain situations, and that might mean you don't have money because you were a good person. So he basically found that like living, like people like this had these beliefs and ideas, and without thinking about them, people were just basically stupid. So he basically said, forget about the conclusions people have. So whatever your beliefs are, whatever my beliefs are, forget about them. It doesn't really matter. And we might by chance get to a right belief, but he said basically having a right belief without understanding and questioning the assumptions behind that belief is basically like having a statue or something just on like something that can be blown over. He goes, to really like cement a belief and to know that what you're believing is true, and to cement your ideas in society and to like make it strong so that like a gust of wind or questioning can't come and blow it over. What you need to do is question your beliefs. And he said you do that using the Socratic method, where I've gone over that already. Um, this pissed people off, though, to be fair, because he was basically going out telling and showing, not just telling, but showing people how they were wrong. And people do not like knowing that they're wrong because people are cray. And so basically, the peoples there, they took him to a court, and there were like 500 people, and he lost by 280 to 220 people. They said he was corrupting the youth and whatnot. And he basically, when he got caught, when he got caught, not when he got caught, when he got told, dude, you've lost, you lost by 280 to 220, a bit like Brexit, close one, right? He basically went, oh, I'm surprised that the margin was so small. And he was proper all right with it. I mean, they kind of killed him and whatnot. But what we can take away from this is, it doesn't matter if you're hated by everyone or everyone thinks you're wrong. He said it's all about the rule of logic, and it doesn't matter if everyone actually believes in you and thinks you're right. It doesn't matter. You've got to question your beliefs, and only by having conversations with people, he said, or what he did actually was have conversations with people and show them how like their belief might not be right and how he would change them. So look, if you don't want to be popular but you want to be right, try the Socratic method out. If you want to be popular and don't give a shit about being right, then carry on believing whatever you believe, or just believe what the mainstream media tells you, I guess. Cool. So that was Socrates, and he was a badass, smart guy who got killed because he was smart.